We live in the most self-sustainable place on earth. We can grow any plant from coquet to hanale. It's such a cycle of life around here with the ocean and the land. Hawaiians knew from the beginning of time. Our whole world revolves around aloha aina, giving back to the land because the land gives to us.
Native Hawaiians had this incredible agricultural system able to sustain 3 times today's population. In the 1800s, plantation agriculture happened in Hawaii. And what you see is private land ownership happening in Hawaii. The original missionary families are still the primary private landowners. The descendants of the original missionaries opened up the first sugarcane plantations. The last sugarcane mill closed down 8 years ago, and in its place, biotech chemical seed companies came in and took over agriculture. They say sugar ruled. Hawaii, sugar was king. Well, now I would say the biotech industry, these chemical corporations are king in Hawaii. I live in a community that consists of pure Native Hawaiian native speakers. I moved out here at the time sugar was just moving out and the fields around us were fallow. I started to see different fields pop up that I've never seen before. It alarmed me. I had no idea what was happening, what was taking the place of sugar. Then I started to experience very bad allergies, migraines, and illnesses, just not being able to get over colds. My doctor said, oh, you have full-blown adult asthma. When I started to see that the farmers were spraying pesticides, they are spraying things at night while we're sleeping. My 2 daughters wake up with blood-soaked pillows. There's hundreds and hundreds of acres where these chemical corporations test their seed. 18 tons of restricted pesticides being dumped right next to schools and neighborhoods.
I'm a teacher at Waimea Canyon Middle School for the past 18 years. There's ag lands adjacent to our campus. It is literally 100 yards upwind of our school. That's the field that they were spraying, and we can actually feel the mist. I contacted Syngenta and said, we believe that drift is occurring. During PE, a cloud of gases came over them, and kids just started dropping. There was chaos on campus. It was horrific. There wasn't enough room in the health room. About 140 children were seeking assistance. There was this effort by administrators and politicians to whitewash it over. And immediately in the newspaper, school evacuated because of stinkweed, and that became the specious explanation. That became the story.
Monsanto, Dow, DuPont in Hawaii and elsewhere, they've got a blank check to experiment with any kind of chemical they want on these test plots.
Pioneer, DuPont, and Dow Chemical, they have all that acreage leased. All the way up from the mountains, all the way down to the ocean. And this is where all the experimentation goes on. This is the dust that's blowing the fields. It blows over the cliff and into our homes. And we breathe this stuff. The neighborhood is filled with people who have passed away of some form of cancer. So many people back here have died. My wife, she got breast cancer. She almost died. We just could not gamble with her life. She had to leave. Then I started it getting worse and worse. I would gasp for air. If I stay here much longer, I might die. I have to move. I'm getting weaker and weaker, and I can feel it. That's the warning sign for me.
These chemical corporations occupy lands that are considered very sacred to Native Hawaiians. Our land, our aina, and everything that comes from it, that's our ancestor. As a Native Hawaiian, it's a disgrace to our culture. There really will be nothing left for our children if no one was willing to speak up.
The future of Hawaii is all at stake. Everything I love is being threatened. I'm fighting for the whole island. Say something or die. $6,000 people there out of the love of their heart for our children, for our land, for our ocean.
I met with the chemical companies. They would say, no, we're not experimenting with pesticides. They tell me this is safe, there's nothing wrong with this stuff, and could you tell me what you're spraying? And they refused to tell me. The more these companies would lie to me, I had to do something. And that's when we started piecing Bill 2491 together to get disclosure.
Could any of you disclose to me the amount of general use pesticides that you use on an annual basis? With all due respect, I asked you an hour ago if you would tell me today how much general use pesticides you're using, and you said no with your silence.
I would say that I don't think I would want to comply with the bill as is.
My second son here, Pa'akamana'o, was born with an extremely rare heart defect. But because our son was dying, his heart unable to pump his own blood through his body, and endured 9 surgeries during those months. All I know is that while pregnant, I took every precaution to grow a healthy baby inside of me. By not passing this bill, you're telling me I don't have the right to know. If I had known, I would have chosen not to expose my unborn child as I innocently worked day in and day out in Keikaha.
I seem a little emotional because it really hits home to me. Speaking on behalf of unborn son, my son has a condition called gastroschisis. Basically, the stomach's on the outside. I don't blame anybody, but I just want to stop the poisoning and bring a baby into the world that's got to get cut open right away. Consider this, that something might be wrong on this island. Okay? Something might be wrong. Children don't deserve this.
The trust is gone for these companies. The trust is gone. And I don't know how they're going to gain the trust back other than backing this bill and working with the communities, you know what I mean? And, you know, like I said before, it's time to put human health over corporate wealth.
They are suing the county of Kauai for the right to spray poisons next to schools. And these are the largest companies in the world. So we're going to have a huge battle.
OMG, GMO, people have a right to know. OMG, GMO, people have a right to know. OMG, GMO.
This is a historic battle. They're fighting for a profit. We're fighting for our lives. And those who fight for their lives, do not give up. Do not let down. Never say no.
Because we need to know. GMO has got to go.
No one said, give me GM food. Anyway, this has never been voted for by any community anywhere in the world. The reason Americans are being condemned to eat GM food is they've been denied the right to know.
64 countries around the world have some form of labeling of genetically engineered foods. The United States does not. Monsanto and the other companies are so frightened of labeling because once people have a choice, why would they choose a product that only offers them risks and no benefits?